Those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. AMP2.tv presents Tell Us Your Business, where you're invited on the air to tell us what makes your business stand out in the community. It's important we hear from you to tell us all we need to know about what you do best. Tell Us Your Business uses the latest radio and television production systems, and all shows can be seen on AMP2.tv. If you have a question for our guest, call 888-565-1470. Now, let's get ready as our guest hits the airwaves and informs us about what we need to know on Tell Us Your Business.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Hammer. I am a certified health and wellness coach. I'm a certified fitness trainer. I'm a certified senior fit specialist and nutrition specialist. And my company is called Hammer Health and Fitness. And health and fitness and happiness is my passion in what I do. And I have found that when I work with my clients, the bottom line is really happiness. If we lose weight and get in shape, we're happy. If we fall in love, we're happy. If we get a job, we're happy. But sometimes life is a little bit difficult and we have some trouble finding our happiness. So my wonderful guest today, Claudia Rotman, is here to share her special passion in a way that she helps you dig up the beauty and grace of who you are from things that are stuck in you, and how to transform your life in a more spiritual, fulfilling, happy way. And Claudia, she has been offering these gifts of service in the field of energetic healing and wellness coaching for over 10 years. And she offers her clients these sessions as a practitioner, as a private spiritual coach, and she does workshops for groups. And she's been helping so many people for so many years transform their lives by providing practical and fascinating information that can be put to immediate daily use so that they can apply it in their lives. And she is a Reiki master since 2008. She is also certified in the area of subconscious restructuring, and she can help you with your Akashic Records because she's an Akashic Records consultant and a teacher that is certified by Ernesto Ortiz, who's renowned in international Reiki healing. And currently, Claudia offers Reiki circles and private sessions and groups at her Prana Lab that's located in Weston. So without further ado, my dear friend and colleague in the health and wellness industry is Miss Claudia Rotman. Thanks for coming and being on the show today, Claudia.
Thank you, Andrea. It's great to be here. I'm really grateful.
So tell us how you became to be a Reiki master and healer and Akashics consultant.
Well, I believe
And what is all that?
I believe that life brings us storms that force us to move into a place of spirituality. So I experienced some things in my life. I had a very bad first marriage, abusive marriage. And I promised that I was going to help women one day to understand and be able to live those situations. So after that, I started searching for some spirituality, and I found Reiki, I found the coaching, I found Akashic Records, and my life has transformed, and now I give the tools to people to be able to transform their lives and become conscious and awake.
So explain a little bit more succinctly, what is Reiki? What do you do for those who don't know what Reiki is and how it affects you and how it helps you?
Reiki is a hands-on healing, and what Reiki does is speeds up the healing process at an emotional, physical, and spiritual level. So whatever it is that you need, the energy is going to go where you need it once a practitioner places their hands in your body, on your body. Subconscious restructuring is a coaching modality. It's a 7-step coaching that allows you to put your subconscious mind in paper to understand how the subconscious mind works and how to get control of it.
Okay, so give us some examples that you have had in your experience with some of your clients where they've had an issue and they've come to you and you've used those methods. What transpired with that?
Well, another one of the things that I do that for me is my umbrella, which is the Akashic Records. And perhaps let's back up a little bit and talk a little bit about what Akashic Records are. So Akasha is a Sanskrit word, and it's a primordial energy.
Primordial energy. Very
Yes.
powerful.
And Akashic Records is the connective tissue of everything that is alive. So through our soul's journey, when a human being has an experience, and through that experience has an emotion, there is an imprint that gets created into this Akashic field. So through the energy of our name and through a sacred prayer, we're able to tap into this imprint to get to the core of what is happening to us. So when a client comes to me asking me that perhaps they have issues with their relationships, perhaps they're ill and they have a disease, cancer, fibromyalgia, I tap into their Akashic Records field, into their book of life, to find out where did it started.
And how do you do that? That sounds so mystical and magical and so far out there, for the regular everyday person who doesn't, hasn't ever heard of this. And what does all that mean? But I mean, I've studied it and I understand a lot of this, and I can't wait to come for a session myself. But for the regular everyday person who's never heard these terms, how do you pull that out of the universe?
Well, Akashic Records, the Akashic field is a vibration, right? So when we align with that vibration, we are able to tap into the information that is there. Just like in the radio, there is always music playing in every station. But we just have to attune ourselves
to the right dial
station,
right.
to that. Back in the days when we used to play with the dial, well, it's the same thing. We need to just attune to that energy, and we do it through meditation, to raising our vibration, so we're able to get the information. The information is always there, but the more we are aligned and attuned, then we're able to interpret that information. And our masters, our teachers are going to give us the information according to what we know. Perhaps we can feel it, we can see it. We see it
like
in
being
our
clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. Or we can journal the information. So that's how I tap into someone's Akashic Records, through the energy of their name, through a sacred prayer, and a specific recipe that allows me to get into that field and download the information so we may transform our lives.
So what transformations have you seen when you've done this? And I'm curious, I wanted to just ask this quickly. You said through their name. Explain the importance of their name in their healing.
Well, we pick our name, and our name takes our energy. So when we decide to become an independent entity, a human being in this lifetime, we take that name. Our soul takes that energy. So when I need to tap into those records, I need to tap into the person's name, their legal name. So for example, if you just got married, you don't have that energy of that name. So I have to tap into your maiden name,
right,
in order to get
your
birth
essence.
Name. Exactly.
Your full
your
birth name.
Correct.
Now, does it have to do with your birth date as well as
just
your name,
the name
too? Just the name.
The name, yes.
Wow. Okay, so you're in a session with someone and they have an issue and you're meditating and you're getting the download.
Well, Akashic Records is a conscious work. It's just a conversation, just like we're having right here.
Right.
Once I do a meditation to connect us into the records, I start telling you the information based on the questions that you ask, because I can't ask the questions for you. It's like me going into your houses and start to open all your drawers. So based on your questions, I download that information. And they will take us, let's say that You come to me and you say, Claudia, I have issues with relationships. I cannot find the partner. I've gotten divorced 3 times, perhaps. Or I'm able to tap into what happened, when did it started, what is the pattern in your life, because perhaps it's not you. It is beliefs. It's something that we have learned through our family, through our parents, through our grandparents, the way husband and wife, men and women, that duality. And I keep reliving those same experience.
That your ancestors and people before you have through. It's kind of like epigenetics.
Exactly. And it's simply because we need to learn from it.
Yes. And then when you do, is there a way to really take a bolt cutter and cut those chains that literally have bound us to that energy?
The beautiful thing about Akashic Records, when you become the observer.
The observer.
And we start to understand the emotions behind the reason we were parented the way we were parented. The reason that our great-grandparents looked at marriage, right? We can understand what is happening to us and what is the reason that we are attracting perhaps people that are very dominant into our lives.
Because we had somebody in our family who was dominant with us beforehand.
Perhaps, you know, for everyone is different. We don't know what we're going to tap into, but that is an example.
Right.
If I have perhaps, for example, a client that his grandfather, his wife, his great-grandfather, his wife died, and he was an only child, and he decided, they lived in Europe, and he decided to send his kid off to boarding school. So here's a child, loses the mom, and the next day I'm sent away. So energetically, he takes this energy of, I lose everything that I love.
It's kind of almost abandonment.
Exactly. So he makes this decision to never be close to anyone.
At
because
that moment.
His experience is that when I get close, when I love, they leave me. So now he has kids, grandkids, and that's what is being taught, generation to generation. And when my client came and I opened his records, I was able to show him that. And then he was able to understand his father that always told him, when I die, you're not going to be here. I'm going to die alone. So leave me now. And they never understood.
Oy, that is
but he was
so hard to hear as a child.
Living the same experience that his great-grandparents were living. And when he understood, he realized that his mission, what he came here to do, is to reunite with his family, to love his daughter as much as he could, to give her the love that he hadn't given her.
And therefore, when that happened,
he changed his life, he changed his daughter's life,
and happiness occurred.
Exactly. So
that's the bottom line.
That is an example. Another example is physical illness. A lot of times our physical stuff has to do with an emotional component.
Yes, that is true.
Clients that have fibromyalgia, and when we open the records, we understand that as a child, the mom didn't let her take a break. She needed to study because she needed to become somebody, because the mom had to work so hard, so she didn't want her child to have the same things. So now, fast forward 20, 30 years, this lady, she cannot rest. She feels guilty when she's watching TV, so husband comes home and she has to jump to make believe that she's doing something. But then our subconscious mind gets to the point that it's tired and needs to create something. So it starts with a headache. Because if I have a headache, I have an excuse that I don't have to watch my kids' baseball game. I can stay home. And then we like it. The subconscious mind likes the rest and then creates other things and then creates pain throughout our whole body. And what we do, we go outside to find the healing. So we get medicine, we go to doctors, we do, and medicine is wonderful. But we need to understand, how did it begin?
Right, the origin, the source.
The emotion behind that pain,
symptom.
And how is it serving you? Because if it serves you, it's going to continue. So when we go within and when we tap into that book of life, we're able to resolve and understand. So next time that we have that urge to stay home, we don't have to say, I'm sick.
Right.
We can say,
see, I like what you said.
Tired.
It serves us. And if it serves the subconscious in the easiest way, we're going to do it. But when we're aware that that's happening, that's when we can make a different choice, a conscious, observing choice.
We become conscious.
We become conscious.
Yes.
And that's the gift.
And that is the gift. And that is the gift that the Akashic Records, the tool that we're able to gain through opening our Akashic Records.
So when you do this individually, how long is a session? And tell us about how you would prepare or do the session. And then when you do it with a group, how does a whole group, what if it's something very poignant or powerful and you're in a whole group and yeesh, you have some big expression of some either anger or resentment or crying or just an emotional upheaval and you're in a group. Has that ever happened? Or
well, your guides, your masters are never going to give you anything that you cannot handle.
I like that. They're not going to give you anything you can't handle.
And also,
Very
we're
good.
working with pure energy, pure love. So the information is going to come in a way that is delivered coming from pure essence, pure love. So the energy that gets created is pure love, understanding. So we're able to receive the information in such a way for our healing.
Right.
Because if we came across this information, it's because we need it.
Say that one more time. That's the most poignant part. If we came across this information
is because we have
need it.
accumulated enough merit in our lives that we need to hear this. And this is our tool to heal whatever it is that we need to heal.
we have earned enough merit to heal it. I love that. That's a brilliant statement. That was poignant. Say that one more time. We have earned enough merit
in this lifetime to get across beautiful, pure essence, pure information, and the opportunity to heal that we came into this lifetime to experience. Because we're not meant to experience pain.
I know. I wish everybody could get that. It isn't that hard, right? But we seem to be slogging through it and jamming ourselves up and rushing and being aggravated and frustrated at everything. And our life isn't meant to be that way. It's supposed to be beautiful and expressive of how we are, not hiding and not fighting everything all the time. And it really isn't that hard if we have the awareness of who we are inside and how this whole totality of ourselves moves in space among other people. See how you see me and I see you, and you can see the front of my face. If I could see the front of my face from you, and you could see the front of your face from where I'm sitting, you kind of would have a better awareness of your whole totality of yourself, right?
But we can do that when we go within.
Yes, and we can do that if we go within.
When we go within, we find our oneness, we find our magnificence, we find our beauty. And when I teach the Akashic Records, my teacher and myself, we always ask this question: what is your magnificence?
What is your magnificence?
And usually...
Oh, can I borrow that in my class too? I love it. That's fantastic.
And people
because everybody
shy
has
away.
Magnificence.
But we all shy away from that magnificence. We all tell what we do.
Right.
But we don't tell who we
we
really
are. Oh, you have such zingers, I swear. We tell what we do. We don't tell who we are. I need to take notes and write all these little one-liners down because every one of them has such a message in what you just said that it really, sitting here, it's just an awakening to be here with you.
Thank you.
Saying that. So can anyone learn to open their Akashic Records? Or,
yes,
what if you're really
everyone.
stuck in your human brain and you can't get into your spirit self? How hard is that for such a person?
Well, it is going to be hard. If we allow our beliefs, if we allow our doubts, our fears, our guilts to get in the way, when we come to learn this material, we want to come with a child's mind. A child's mind is open and empty, ready to listen, ready to get the information, receive the information. So we need to put aside all of those beliefs that we can't do it. Because I tell my students all the time, if I can do it, everyone can do it.
Right.
Because I am not a psychic. I was never one to get any messages, but I have done enough meditation, work going deep within, going into the Akashic Records field and just receiving the healing, because what heals is not the information, what heals is the energy. So just simply by going in, following the recipe, we have a specific recipe that we go directly into the Akashic Records field, we can start, thinning those veils that allows us to get the information. So it's like everything, you can't go to the gym once and expect to have muscles
How many
tomorrow.
times have I had to say that? That is so true. You can't eat a carrot stick today and then go eat, bacon double cheeseburger tomorrow.
Exactly.
I think you're going to be good.
But when we do the Akashic Records class, we do exercises in meditation, attuning our chakras to raise our vibration.
And are those part of the recipes?
And that is part of the recipe. We create a sacred space before we open our records.
Explain
And
that. How would you create a sacred space? That's beautiful.
You can create sacred space anywhere you go. You just simply go deep within and you start bringing the energy that is around you in front of your heart center, and you visualize bringing that energy into your heart, having your heart opening and expanding. That's creating that sacred space. Also by sitting and meditating and just tuning out everything that is around you, or using every noise, every sound as your meditation.
See, most people think you have to sit in complete silence with your legs in a pretzel, umming all the time, and not saying there's anything bad about it. It's a beautiful practice in yoga, but for some people, they can't tune stuff out so easy, but to allow them to listen to the sounds of birds and listen to the humming of a generator and listen to people talking in the background and being okay with the awareness that you hear life happening around you.
You go
as
back
your
to
meditation.
Yes, you go into your breath. You
Into your
focus on
breath.
your breath. You take your attention from your idle thoughts and you go into your heart center and you focus on your breath. When you give your mind some place to go, that's what is going to focus. But we
Right.
go right into our thoughts. And we always going to have thoughts during our meditation, but it's just being aware that you went that way and you come back to your breath. You come back to being present
Right.
into your breath. That's what meditation is about. And the more you practice,
Right.
those moments, that space between the clouds gets larger and larger.
The space between the clouds gets larger and larger.
And it's not what you do when you're meditating, it's what happens outside of the meditation.
So explain that.
So we believe that when we are in meditation, we have to sit and we can't do it because of our thoughts, but meditation allows us to become present outside of the meditation, to not react to situations that
Right.
we usually react to, because we are at a different vibration. We also start attracting into our lives that we deserve, that we've been looking for, because we start to focus on the things that serve us, not the things that do not serve
That don't serve us, the things we want, the things that are good, not the things we don't want. And a lot of times when we're unhappy about something, we focus on all the misery that we're unhappy about, which just brings us more of the same.
Exactly.
And it is such a shift over here in the light to really see that when we allow ourselves to feel deserving, and that's a huge thing too in my practice. Some people have this problem with feeling of deserving love and light and goodness and abundance and joy and a healthy relationship. They don't feel they deserve it because of a past problem or something that's stuck. So if you can get into their Akashic records and pull that emotion of undeserving out,
Right. I
and
can
feel
show
how
them
loved
where
they
it comes
are
from.
and how beautiful they are and their magnificence in them. That's the best feeling of deserving that can open them up. Yeah. So in your sessions, what is the difference between opening up your own or having a session? Can you open up your own?
Sure. Well, there's two different things. I can open somebody's Akashic records, right? That will be a consultation. And I also teach how to open your own Akashic records.
Wow.
So in a workshop, it's usually a whole weekend workshop, I give the students, the recipe.
Now, does each person have their own particular recipe, or is there a formula that...
There is a formula.
Okay.
There is a AAA recipe that we give to tap into that energy.
Wow. I am so happy that you were here to share all this with us today. Any of our listeners that want to call in, we have 2 minutes left. The number is 888-565-1470. And Claudia is here to answer a question you might have about something that's in you that needs to be released through healing in her methods. So if you do want to call in, you got a minute or two. So 888-565-1470 is the number. And while we're waiting for a call, I just want to say that in your healing methods with heart and soul, it's still the same kind of healing heart and soul, even for me physically, because when somebody feels strong, they're happy and their life is transformed.
Absolutely. You find your peace in your heart.
Find your peace in your heart. Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you.
This has been Tell Us Your Business, where a special guest comes on every week and tells us what they do. All shows can be seen on amp2.tv, and if you wish to be a guest, call 866-224-5422 and tell us about your business. That's 866-224-5422. This has been an amp2.tv production.